13 is r is equal to 5 sine 3 theta. So that's a odd multiple of the angle. So obviously if it's odd multiple, it'll have 3 number of petals. So it's a 3 petal rose, right? We can perhaps connect that to 3 petal rose. So let's write that down. 3 petal rose. And what else do we know? What is that? It's a sine 3 theta. Okay, so sine value is always fluctuating between positive 1 and negative 1. So if sine of and if you notice, it's the same in every problem. If sine 3 theta is equal to, let's go for the maximum value 1, then your function r is going to be 5 times 1, which is 5. So the maximum value it will go is 5. And if sine the theta is equal to negative 1, then we have r is equal to 5 of a negative 1, which is a negative 5. Of course, it's absolute value of negative 5 that we will be taking. So these are the two things. So when your sine is 5, so we're going to use this value. So r is equal to 5, right? So 5 is equal to 5 sine 3 theta. That is plugging into the equation. So sine 3 theta is equal to 1. So that's one thing. And then we have, in this case, sine 3 theta will be equal to negative 1. So that's another case. So let's use a different color because what we are doing is finding angles. Sine of which angle is going to be 1. Okay, so sine 3 theta is equal to 1. If you kind of remember, let me show you that curve that I have drawn here. So the period is given by 2 pi by p. So the period in this case is 2 pi by 3. 2 pi by 3 is 120 degrees. So in 360 there are 3 such curves, right, of 120 each. The period is, so the maximum value occurs at 30, then the maximum value occurs again at 150, then the maximum value occurs at 270. Of course we cannot use this 30, so we will have to write this as so 3 theta is equal to no, this is not 3 theta. Remember, we are trying to find theta now. So we're not doing that. I got confused a little bit. So yes, we directly have the answer. So the value after dividing by 3, it's going to be pi by 6. That's one value. Or it could be 5 pi by 6, which is 150, right? 5 pi by 6. And then the other one is 270. So it's going to be 3 pi by 2. So we have three values where we get r is equal to 5. Now let's look at negative 5 values. So I'm going to use a green color for that. Again, we have this angle, and this angle for that. So therefore we have the negative values, that is absolute value of negative 5. We probably will get at 3 other values. So we'll grab this. So this is going to be 120 minus 30. That's this value, right? So and then this is 240. This one is going to be 240 minus 30, and then this one is, the last one is going to be 360 degrees. Is it 360? No, it's 360 minus 30, so it's 330 degrees. So we have 330, we have 210, and we have 90. So we have a pi by 2 as one of the answers. Then we have 210. So we'll have to convert that into radians. So that is what we will be using in our problem. So those are your maximum values. So I'm going to write those answers here by converting it. So in the order of ascending, so the maximum it will be at pi by 6, which is at 30 degrees. Then comes the 90 degrees. Then comes 5 pi by 6. Then comes 7 pi by 6. And then we have at the very end, did I put all 6 of them? No, I think I missed some. 3 pi by 2, that's 270, and then 330, which is 11 pi by 6. So those are your values where you have the maximum r. And the symmetry is it's a line symmetry, so it's a pi by 2 symmetry. Theta is equal to pi by 2. That means it's going to be symmetric about this axis there. And we have 3 such petals. So if you actually plot these by plugging in these values there, you will get something like no, not on this axis. Sorry, it doesn't have this axis symmetry. It will definitely have this axis symmetry. Then we have 5 pi by 6, right? So we will have a maximum of, how much is that, 5 at this. So we have to count 4, 5. So this is going to be here, right? And then that's going to be this one. And then what else is there? Then we will have it pi by 6, which is over here. So we need one of this. Yes. So the remaining 3 points, okay, is kind of like, reflected to the other side. So that's your 6 angles that we have plotted. Okay. So that's your 3 petals. We do have to find zeros also, so please set this function equal to 0. So sine of 3 theta is equal to 0. So then using that you will find the theta value where it is equal to 0. Again, if you go back to this function, now you're trying to grab these points, right? So where it is 0, so you will have another set of 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. Okay, make sure 360 and 0 will be the same point, so you don't have to worry about that. So 6 points there for 0 also, you will use that to graph here.